Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Elden Ring. So, I took a look at what I had available as far as weapons are concerned. There's a few magic. Obviously, I do have a small variety of magic weapons. I did take a look at the spear that we picked up earlier, the Death Ritual Spear. In fact, let's teleport someplace else, so we're not constantly hearing lightning every freaking second. But yeah, I took a look at that spear and its weapon art, and unfortunately it's a really slow weapon art. It does make a bunch of like black spears come from the sky, much like the Deathbird's special ability, but it's unfortunately a very slow weapon art. And I went and kind of looked up a variety of other magic, int-based weapons. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about the twin spear we picked up a while back. I mentioned it had the blood loss and arcane scaling, but what I failed to mention is it also does fire damage, which is pretty neat. Anyway, the only other int-based weapons that kind of interest me were things like the Royal Greatsword, the Rune's Greatsword. But the Rune's Greatsword mostly gets its stuff from strength. Really the only thing that stands out for it is its weapon art, which is very similar to another weapon art, which I will show off later. Well, not show off, but I'll point where you get it. The Royal Greatsword, which is Blide's weapon, supposedly is pretty good as well. It has a pretty decent weapon art. And then the Wing of Stel is also pretty neat. It's a curved sword where its heavy attack actually shoots shockwaves for no FP cost, which is very, very interesting. Also only requires a whole 7 strength. Apparently it looks like freaking like a mosquito wing, essentially, as far as the blade. It's actually see-through. It's kind of neat. And then there's one other weapon that we don't have that I would like to go ahead and try getting. So we need to pass some time. Okay. Alright. Oh, there he is. So, note the Deathbird spawns only at nighttime here. Narrowly avoided that attack. Why aren't you special? Oh, so much for that move. $15,000, and we get the Death's Poker. So the Death's Poker, despite its name, is a greatsword, and apparently is standard pierce, even though it's I'm assuming it's a blunt weapon. So what's kind of neat about it is it's apparently one of the few weapons that actually has a frost buildup. It's even more frost buildup than the Dark Moon Greatsword. So it has not as good scaling int-wise as far as its weapon is concerned, but its weapon art does scale off of int, and that's really the kind of the standout for it. It's Ghost Flame Ignition, Barbed Rod carried by Deathbirds. The birds are graveyard firekeepers. It is said they rake out the ashen remains of the dead from their kilns. Ghost Flame Ignition, thrust out the Barbed Rod, and set its tip alight with a Ghost Flame. Follow up with a normal attack to set the ground ablaze with Ghost Flame, or a strong attack to trigger a massive explosion. So if I were to switch to this, so yeah, pretty much same moveset. And then what you can do, you can do something like that. So I want to give this weapon a try. And we'll see how it plays out. The other hint scaling item we could also use is Radahn's weapons, but I don't exactly want to use that stuff.
Well, I took you for no matter it. Lay out your arm.
Right, so let's go ahead and strengthen this. We have 1 smithing stone, 8. But I don't really have any other plans for other weapons, so there you go. So we have a +8 weapon. And if you compare it, unfortunately, with the so I have more physical damage, but you can see literally the magic scaling. It completely dominates in the magic scaling. So that's how good the Darkmoon Greatsword is. But we'll see how this plays out. Sometimes if you upgrade the weapon, it'll actually improve the weapon art. So I'm curious to see if that's the case. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and take a look at some of our other options. Well, not other options, but I want to show off other things. Alright, no new equipment. And then we have access to Rykard's Rancor. Releases searing. Yeah, it's the terrible power of Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. Summons searing spirits that leave a trail of delayed explosions in their wake. These spirits manifest from the Rancor of heroes who met a violent end. The Lord granted them an audience, whereupon they were welcomed by the maw of the Great Serpent. And within the Serpent's bowels, they became the Lord's kin. And then Blasphemous Blade. It has a faith requirement in scaling. It has fire damage. Sacred Sword of Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, remains of the countless heroes he has devoured writhe upon the surface of this blade. Now they share the same blood, bound together as family. Some HP is restored upon defeating an enemy. And then it has Taker's Flames. Raise the Sacred Sword aloft to set it ablaze with blasphemous flames, then bring it down to fire off a forward blast. The flames steal HP from those they touch. It also does really good stagger. It can actually knock down most people, or most enemies. So yeah, this thing I'm currently using on my Confessor. When I swapped out of daggers, I swapped over to this weapon, and it is amazing. I mean, the attacks it does is reasonably decent, but really the big thing is the Taker's Flames. With that, you just mow down enemies. And then all the enemies you hit, if you hit multiple targets, all of them will heal you. If they die, you get more health back. If you happen to have that talisman, it restores HP on death. That also adds up. And essentially you get to this point where you're just like, no, your flask instead is just using Taker's Flame over and over again. I even use it in boss fights, mainly because it's good damage and good range. The only catch, of course, is it does run along the ground, so if there's different elevation changes, it can get caught up in that. Anyway, let's test out this weapon. We'll see how it plays. If it does awful, I'll switch back. It's not a big deal. Also, on Taker's Cameo, so the way it supposedly works is every enemy you defeat will give you 3% HP back plus 30. So you always get at least 30 HP back. So the more HP I have, the more it benefits. And of course, it supposedly will even trigger off of just looking at bloodstains, which I think is an exploit. But I'm going to go ahead and use that, because the dude just does not keep up anymore. Alright, so with all that said and done, let's take this new weapon to an area that's reasonably high level. And we'll see how it plays. I mean, for the most part, I only use at this point, since I'm mostly a caster, the only thing that really matters as far as the weapon's concerned is the weapon art. And as much I do like the efficiency of the Darkwind Greatsword's weapon art, and I do always love anything that boosts magic. But the problem is, the attacks that you do with it are extremely slow. You've seen it and the difficulty with it. Also, it has an issue with elevation swings, so I'm not sure what to think of it in those cases. All right, so what's this place called again? Castle Sol. So Castle Sol has spirits, a lot of spirit soldiers in it, and they are set up in a way to be very annoying. There's siege equipment, mainly ballistae, or I guess are they ballistae? Can't remember the actual term. It's not the one where it shoots a big bolt, but a bunch of little bolts. Arbalist? I don't remember. In any case, it's one of those things that shoot a bunch of bolts and it does a lot of damage. Alright. So we do have a few directions we can go. That's a pit to death. Obviously, can't use the contraption. So up in this direction, I believe there are dogs, and then up in this direction has birds. But I will deal with those later. Oh, slugs. Well, I guess we can test it out. So every time you see those little red pellets going to me, that's me getting healed by the deaths. Yeah, so my overall damage is definitely lower now. Oop! I didn't see you there. In fact, I didn't even kill all of them. That kind of sucks. Well, I'll keep testing it out, see how it plays. Yeah, 508. I think originally, just to compare. Yeah, 780. Yeah, I've lost a lot of attack power. Now, granted, this is a +9 weapon, but still, Death Poker doesn't exactly scale the best. There is an item that can also restore FP, but it's only 3 FP per kill, which is not great. Three FP doesn't even pay for a single pebble. There we go. So yeah, we got jerks like him, who I think are outranging me right now. That's actually pretty good damage. Ugh! So yeah, I believe I mentioned these already. Oops. Yeah, so he literally fades away. Okay. That was not good. Oh, I can just target. I am so narrowly avoiding these guys. Yeah, see how much my HP goes up just from a single kill? And that's just simply because I have such a high percentage of HP now. I mean, I'm sitting at, yeah, like nearly 1900 HP, which means I'm essentially getting about 87 HP per kill. which is not bad at all. Alright, you can already see where the next one's at. Okay. Yeah, I can't do it from here. Alright. Oh my god, that hurts. Yep. And then he disappears because he's a jerk. But apparently you can still hit him even when he's faded away. I did not know that. Good to know. Okay, now we can breathe a little easier now. Smoldering butterflies, okay. I did not prep a heal spell. So you're actually worthless right now. Okay. Got the stairs going down. Oh, painting. Sorcerer painting. That puts us here. Oh, hello, good sir. I know there are birds here. Where are they? There you are. Warhawks Talon. I think it's a dagger. It's not a dagger. It's an actual... okay. Talon swords are affixed to the legs of Stormveil's Warhawks, but this one has been repurposed for human use. The blade is thin and lightweight, so as to not obstruct the hawk's mobility, as Spitting Slash. Alright. Is that all the birdies? Looks like it. Alright, nothing to note there. Let's go ahead and drink. Okay, doesn't even restore half my HP anymore. I have so much HP now. Alright, so we came out there. We entered through there. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do right now... Actually, can I just go around the other end? One way to find out. Yeah, we just grab the item here. Okay. Freezing grease. Don't really need it. But supposedly this weapon art's actually really good against anything that can be flinched, because as they're staying in the fire, they just flinch over and over again. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Alright. So there should be another crossbow somewhere nearby. There's a grace up ahead. So... Yep. 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 Are you kidding me? Right. Pardon me. God, let me move. Eclipse Hotel, we'll look at it later. Alright, was not expecting my... Yeah, was not expecting the Grace to literally be guarded like that. I mean, I'm gonna have to refight you guys anyway, but yeah, the fact they teleported right in front of me is a dick move. Door that can't be opened. Door that can't be opened. Alright, first things first. We'll go ahead and re-equip our finger seal. Memorize heal again. I should take care of that. Alright. Alright, so Eclipse Hotel. What's it classified as? Oh, curved sword. Alright, holy weapon, has safe scaling. Destroyed sword and treasure of Castle Soul that depicts an eclipsed sun drained of color. One of the legendary armaments. In Soul, the sight of an eclipse inspires a dreadful awe, preventing an onlooker from averting its gaze. Death Flare, set the lecherous sun ablaze with the Prince of Death's flames, inflicting the death ailment upon foes. Follow up with an additional input to bring down the armament, triggering an explosion. Okay. Alright, hello good sir. Yeah, this weapon ain't working for me. It's alright, I wanted to try it out. The other weapon I could try out is the big colossal sword. But I can only get it up to +7 now, because I don't have any 8s anymore. But yeah, that weapon art is just... it's way too slow. My strength right now is 16. So I can two-hand this if I pop a... I'm just kind of comparing sizes. So that's the size of that weapon. There we go. And if I switch to this... okay, it definitely has more reach. I even meet the... I don't think I even meet the requirements, do I? Yeah, even two-handing it, I don't meet the... wait, how do I not meet the requirements? I have 21 strength, so yeah, two-handing this... it's just the dexterity I'm missing. I'm missing a point of dexterity to actually fully use this. Which I'm guessing means I can't do Wolf Assault, can I? Yeah, I can't fully do it. Alright, it's interesting. Alright, so back to Darkmoon Greatsword then. We'll stick with that. Oh, sorry. Did you hear me? Okay, it's not letting me target. It's literally not letting me target. Well, don't lose the souls. Or runes, rather. Drink. Really not fun fighting those guys. Okay. So yeah, I think we'll stick with this sword for now. For better and for worse. Alright, so before we do anything else, I'm gonna pop a rune 2. Rune 1. So 9,000. That should be enough. Alright, this should cap out our... I could also always just drop the weapon entirely and just go pure magic. Or I can start using straight swords again. That's always the go-to. Hello, good sir. Alright, I know you're in here. Anyone else? Alright. So unfortunately the birds are back. So yeah, taking out... So when you move here, the crossbowman just starts pelting you from a distance. Hello, where you came from. What are we using right now? Let's go ahead and drop this. Because it's only useful when I'm at full HP anyway. We'll just go with this for now. So I have multiple ways of regenning. The other option... I'll give you, what, 28? Yeah, only 28. Could do Green Turtle Talisman. Let's do that. Nah, actually, we'll stick with this. Why not? I'll just need to be more willing to heal in the future. Alright. Speaking of, boop. Okay, so that takes care of that. We can go up the ladder. We'll go up the ladder first, because that is side progression. Or sidetrack, rather. Alright, so you can go all the way to here. Grab a regular smithing stone. Okay, gold rune 9. Okay. So we got this up ahead. Woo. You're gonna heal. Good for you. Don't turn your back on me. They had a weird de-aggro range, it looks like. Okay, that's everything here. Yeah, I just can't do better than this sword, it feels like. Especially if you're going all in, because this weapon's in scaling is just ridiculous. Just the amount of damage you do with it. But that's okay. Like I said, the Royal Greatsword definitely has its perks. Colossal weapons are definitely a lot better now. And unfortunately, I kind of prefer the heavier weapons just simply because it has a better chance of making bosses flinch. And you definitely need to be able to make a boss flinch, else they just kind of steamroll you. Okay. So, yeah, so there's that. Ow. Bunch of dicks. Okay. I'm literally a sliver of health away from getting max again. But that's okay. So there's a ladder there. I'll deal with that in a second. So yeah, down here is that guy. And you may think, oh, I'll just snipe him from above. He will teleport up here. And he'll laugh at you. So we'll play by his rules. Seriously? Well, aren't you special? But you have no shield. Which means you're dead. Banished Knight Greaves. I believe we've gotten their pieces before. Thick, full set of armor covering the entire body. These greaves were worn by knights who, whether by misfortune or misdeed, were forced to abandon their homes. These fierce warriors were each and all accomplished. Perhaps that is why, despite their territorial losses, were still named knights. Right, nothing there, nothing there. Cerulean Amber Medallion +1. I believe we already had the other one. Nope, we didn't. Medallion with Cerulean Amber inlaid greatly boosts maximum FP. The archery's old sap becomes amber, treasured as the most precious of jewels in the Age of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. A primordial life energy resides inside. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and climb back up, because there's a ladder going down that we can take advantage of. Also, might as well do this while we're at it. I almost want to try out that, speaking of straight swords, I've been, every once in a while, considered going just hybrid, and going Sword of Night and Flame with both Faith and Int, but I have not. That actually might be a direction. Maybe not go full on Faith, but get enough Faith so I can wield the sword. And then from there, that'll also give me a little bit more access to incantations. So we could do something like that. And essentially just it's a straight sword, so it's not anything we haven't seen before, but we'll see. I don't exactly have enough higher tier somber stones to play too much around with it right now. In any case, so down here is a bunch of rats. They can apparently take a hit. So when I did this on my confessor, the rats only one rat at a time aggroed. Looks like this time a total of 3 of them aggroed. But I don't know if this is because of the Crapus Veil or Vial, but these 2 rats did not aggro at all. I mean, the room is slightly dim, so maybe they couldn't see me, and therefore we're relying on hearing, and so maybe that is how it worked. I don't know, but it's definitely something very, very strange. Which is why I still equip this, even though it may or may not actually be doing anything. It feels like it does something, and that's all that really matters. Whole perception versus reality thing. Alright, how am I going to do this? I think... let's just teleport back to the church. Because I don't want to backtrack through Eagle and Wolfville. Alright, so about this place. That guy's gonna set off an alarm. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. I hate these things so much. At least they didn't grapple me. Need to switch back to one-handed, because overhead swings were not the answer for that. So one thing about the thing I shot down, I've had it die, and the item spawned above it. And so since it wasn't on the ground, I actually could not grab the item. Thankfully, I don't think its drop really matters that much. But yeah, if you let it scream, it will aggro all the spirits that are hiding in here. Which honestly is probably better. Because now they're probably in that area. Or maybe they actually spawn. That would be kind of interesting. Anyway, we're just going to do that. That gets us our shortcut. Alright. This boss. So we fought a variation of this boss before. It's essentially one of those commander guys that can summon a bunch of ghosts. This one only summons 2. But then he also goes into like full-on aggro mode. And he will definitely wreck our shit. So, we're gonna do that. Do one of these. Summon. Okay. All the ads have been dealt with. And now he goes into angry mode. Now he has electric attack. God, that hurt. Oh my god. That almost killed me. There you go. Veteran's prosthesis. 90,000 runes. So yeah, he's a lot more mobile compared to the previous one. His prosthesis, or whatever it is, can be lightning enchanted and then do a bunch of shockwave stuff. And then of course he can spin his halberd around to do a bunch of frostbite and cold damage. I say cold damage, but there's no actual cold damage in this game. It's just magic, but it is what it is. Anyway, I want to go ahead and rest here. Definitely went a lot smoother compared to my Confessor. Confessor I pretty much just ran and screamed for a very long time, and then hit him with the fire attack thing that I had for the greatsword. We need how many? 10,000. How much will that give me? 10,000. So the question is what do I level up now? I could start leveling up Faith. I could level up Int a little bit. I could go to 80 Int essentially to hit soft cap. I don't exactly want more strength. We don't really want more mind. Endurance wouldn't be bad. I think I might go ahead and start upping Faith. Just get that a little bit better than what it is right now, and get some better heals in the future. If I do end up switching to that other sword, I may have a few other stats to play around with. Yeah, I'll be able to drop my I'll be able to free up 4 points from strength. Actually, I could probably, yeah, be able to free up 4 points from strength and put it into Faith. And then we would have to find some points in other locations. Yeah, that's what's really good about this greatsword, by the way. The 16 strength requirement and 11 dex for a greatsword is definitely not bad, because if you're going to be going casting anyway, you're going to have 38 int. So yeah, this thing's just really good for... It's literally a caster weapon. It's designed to be one. But, you know, I've already seen how many parts this series has gotten to. It's like, what, up to 70 plus at this point. So I do want to make it so we're not using the same thing over and over again. But I also don't want to be in a situation where I'm just dying over and over again because I'm being super inefficient. Alright, up we go. Oh, I didn't read about the prosthesis. We'll do that in a second. I don't exactly want to read while in the elevator. There's nothing up here. We'll go ahead and grab the item that's waiting for us. The purpose for why we came up here in the first place. Lord Michaela, forgive me. The sun has not been swallowed. Our prayers were lacking. Your comrade remains soulless. I will never set my eyes upon it now. Your divine Halictree. And there you go. We have the left piece now. So, we'll go ahead and take a look at the left piece. It's pretty much the same thing as the right one, just we happen to now have the left one. And then the weapon we picked up is a fist weapon. Has lightning weapon, strength, dex scaling, but it has lightning damage attached to it. bladed prosthetic leg and wreathed with the power of lightning instead attached to the fist. Commander Niall, a veteran of Castle Sol, offered his prosthesis in exchange for the lives of defeated knights held prisoner. He went on to lead these men as an army of no nation. Storm Kick thrust the prosthetic leg blade into the ground, creating a storm, followed up with a strong attack to perform a lightning-infused jumping attack. So yeah, pretty interesting. Okay, so with that, we have access to the optional route we can take over at the Grand Lift of Rold. Before we do any of that, though, I'm going to go ahead and head on over to Turtle Pope. It's not nighttime, so we're not going to spawn the boss that appears here.
Greetings.
Hey, about Radagon.
You know, it's said that Lord Radagon harbored a secret. A famed sculptor of the Earth.
Okay, we've heard this all before. Alright, give a prayer book. The Golden Order Principia.
Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. Heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined.
Okay, and here, have it 2 fingers.
Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. All things...
Okay, that's all been said before. And... okay, so... okay, heals a massive... incantation bestowed by 2 fingers upon tarnished, deemed worthy to become a lord. Heals a massive amount of HP for the caster and nearby allies. Hold to continue praying to delay activation. Tarnished, oh tarnished, seek the Erd Tree and stand before Marika, its queen. Become the Elden Lord. And then Lord's Aid. Alleviates buildup of poison, blood loss, and sleep for the caster and nearby allies. Additionally, cures poison. Hold to continue praying and delay activation. And then Radagon's Rings of Light. One of the incantations of the Golden Order Fundamentalist, a gift of gratitude to the young Michaela from his father Radagon, produces a golden ring of light and fires it across a wide area, charging and enhances range. And yet, the young Michaela abandoned fundamentalism, for it could do nothing to treat millennia's accursed rot. This was the beginning of unalloyed gold. Yeah, and it's anti faith. And then we got Law of Regression. One of the key fundamentals. Heals all negative statuses, dispels special effects, and reveals mimicry in all its forms. The fundamentalists describe the Golden Order through the powers of regression and causality. Regression is the pole of meaning, that all things yearn eternally to converge. So we actually need this spell. I say need in quotes, but it is for a quest.
Is there something?
Which is kind of funny because the quest line is usually going to be done by people that are going the faith route, and this is an incantation that essentially scales with intelligence, or has intelligence requirement, which is pretty funny. It's also just really good. Like, it cures everything. So I actually might want to carry that around for a bit. Yeah, there we go. Alright, if we go to Archery Sanctuary. Not exactly sure where I need to go for this. Okay, not here. I think I need to find a statue. So yeah, we'll run around a bit to see if we can find it. There'll be a message that at least gives us some information about it. So yeah, we're looking for a message that I think it says like regression or something. Is there a chest back here? No. Yeah, definitely not that. Okay, I don't think it's this way. So yeah, specifically we need to find that message. So this, I could bet the other one's going to say try right. Unless it already went away. Alright. So I know it's around Archery Sanctuary. Or at least that's the suggested grace that you're supposed to go to. But if I can't find it, I'll look it up and do it next video. Okay. Assuming there's a ladder here. Yep. Okay, what if we go... Okay, not this spot. There's statues up there. So maybe that's what I'm looking for. Nope, doesn't look like this is it. I wonder if it's actually on the spear itself. That would be annoying. I'm wondering what direction Goldface is actually looking. Yeah, pretty sure it's not this. That's an interesting gesture. Oh. Try incantation. Something incredible ahead. So that's not it. There it is. Regression alone reveals secret. So you have to do it on the actual message. And there you go. It actually changed the statue. Okay, cool. So with that, we can now go back to Sanctuary here. And start making our way back. It's going to be annoying, unfortunately, because there's a bunch of enemies in our way. I think we'll have to kill at least one omen. Don't be jerks. Oh, hello. Alright. Oh, geez. Okay. Trying to figure out how I got back on this thing. I think we can just drop on the other side of this. Okay. Alright, we'll go ahead and call it here, and we'll deal with the next part of this quest next time. So I'm The Depressed Eeyore, this was Elden Ring, I'll see you guys in a bit.